Hello, everyone. Welcome to Subconscious Healing. My name is Emma Wachs, and I'm here today to lift any stress and pressure from your life and do what we can to create a subconscious shift for you. So I'm 32 years old. I'm from Australia on the Sunshine Coast. And I'm currently working online with my beautiful business, utilizing subconscious healing in order to support people and also guiding people on a journey towards life purpose. And today I'd like to share a little bit about that with you, but I would also like to offer some support and some healing. So for now, I would love for anybody who's watching just to say hi, let us know where you're from. I would love to connect with you, and I'm going to check that the feed is streaming okay. Hi, Mama G. So good to have you here with us. Thank you for joining. So beautiful to have you. Also got streaming in live in a couple of places today. Perfect. Hi, Emily. So great of you to be here. And Miranda, hello. Oh, Miranda's in Phillip Island. Awesome. What a beautiful place to live. That's wonderful. Perfect. Awesome. So thank you, everybody, for joining. So as I said before, I'm a subconscious healer, which means that I have the ability to identify the deepest root cause of any difficulty or challenge in your life, and I create a subconscious shift. So what that means is that we're having a shift that is so powerful because we've been able to identify the very first time that this showed up for you in your life and create a shift here. So when we're exploring the subconscious mind, we're actually exploring the creation point of all things that we're experiencing. And so this is why we may have limiting beliefs in our subconscious that lead us down, certain paths in our life that are less desirable or that are not desirable. Hi, Kerry. So beautiful to have you here with us too. This is what leads us down the path of, just self-destructive behavioral patterns and, struggling with very deep emotions that may or may not belong to us, feeling affected by other people's energy, feeling locked into relationships that aren't serving us, or feeling as though we're continuously revisiting cycles of financial discomfort or emotional despair or depression or anxiety, whatever it may be. Subconscious healing has the ability to be able to shift and transform that as we start identifying the limiting beliefs that created this situation in our lives in the first place. So if this is resonating for you and you're really excited to explore this, then I would love for you all to share a difficulty or challenge into the comment section now that you've been experiencing in your life. This could be something really specific, or if you're not quite sure, but you're definitely wanting an intuitive reading today, what you can do is share an area of your life where you'd like some change. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my amazing intuition wisdom techniques to connect in to the universal source of intelligence that we all have access to. And I'm going to identify what the deepest root cause of that is. Some subconscious shifts right here and now. So get excited, guys. Just one sharing into the comment section could completely change your life as we create a shift for you. So feel free to start sharing those things into the comment section. I would absolutely love to connect with each and every one of you today. And we have a full hour, so plenty of time to get into this. What I did want to do just before we move on is I wanted to share with you all the link for the Subconscious Healing Exhibitor Group. So tomorrow, which will be Sunday, the 8th of November, between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Sydney Australian time, the Spiritual Events Directory Expo will be showing, and there's a group of subconscious healers and intuitive life coaches that I've been able to collect together in order to offer you guys some amazing support tomorrow and have to offer. So I'm just going to pop the links for that into the comment section for you now so that you can explore that. And I'm also going to share a link to connect in with me personally in case you'd like to explore that, explore a one-on-one session with me as well. We have 8 hours of events. We've got people speaking about different topics from all different areas of your life. So no matter what it is you're struggling with, there'll be something there for you to gain and receive some new intuitive wisdom around. Miranda will be there. That's so beautiful to see. Thank you so much, Miranda. Hi Zena, it's so beautiful to have you here. Thank you for joining. So for anybody else who's just joined, feel free to share into the comment section any challenges or difficulties in your life. Doesn't matter how long you've been struggling with this, and it certainly doesn't matter how big this problem seems to you. Clearing a limiting belief with subconscious healing is pretty simple, pretty easy, and can be a very pleasant experience. It doesn't always need to be, a scary or a deep or a strugglesome experience. So I'm going to start tuning in for you all now. Thank you everyone for joining, and thank you for all of you for your continued support. Those of you that show up each week to support me, to receive healing, and just to bathe in the energy of subconscious healing and all that intuition wisdom have to offer. I want to thank you so much for being here. Wonderful to see you. Hi, Kamal. So beautiful to have you here. Carrie's looking forward to the expo as well. I cannot wait to see you there as well, Carrie. Thank you for sharing into the comment section, guys. Hi, Tony. So beautiful to have you here. Feel free to share into the comment section if you'd like some support. Perfect. Wonderful. So, Diane. Oh, my name is Emily. Oh, sorry, Diane. My name is Emma. I got confused with your message then. Diane is from the Gold Coast, Australia. So beautiful to have you with us. Thank you for joining. The first one I'm seeing from Emily, she's feeling triggered from her childhood. Okay, let's tune in and see. I'm just going to explore beneath the surface of the triggers that you've had showing up. So straight away, what I'm actually seeing is that there's a limiting belief for you around, I can feel that this is quite emotional for you, and it actually feels as though it's connected to your relationships. I'm just going to see if I can see a little deeper, grab a little more detail for you, because it feels as though your relationship struggles are at the forefront of your mind, and this is what you've been struggling with in your present day, current life and experience. But what's really interesting is that if we look a little deeper, the limitation feels as though it's originally connected to your ability to feel comfortable within yourself. So this is something that is very common in many people, and over time it can create a bit of a trauma. If we don't know how to love and support ourselves, then we struggle every time something shows up in our life that we don't know how to help ourselves with. So we may think that, the relationship experiences we're having with other people, that's causing us pain or distress. Or we may think, oh my gosh, I have no money. This is, such a huge struggle. Why do I keep coming up against this stuff? And we think that's the reason that we're really, truly, struggling. But if we have a look at what's beneath the surface of these things and these experiences, we actually find the deeper limiting belief and the deeper blockage that is allowing for these things to show up in our life in the first place. So this for you, Emily, is what we've found, is that each and every time something shows up for you in your life and you're feeling as though you're not sure how to handle it, it feels as though this creates some discomfort for you, and it triggers a stress response within you that stimulates, I'm seeing just this general sense of upheaval within you. So feel free to let us know in the comment section if this is resonating for you. What I would love to do is quickly identify and clear what there is to be cleared for you in the subconscious around this, because if we can have a look at the very first time that you felt this way, that you weren't able to support yourself, and we can create a shift from here, then we have the ability to be able to make a change for you in your life. And so for you, I can see that this goes as far back as about 8 months old. And the first time that you experienced this, it was actually belonging to your mother. So the way that I'm seeing this show up is she was feeling as though she wasn't able to support herself. And at some stage, at around the age of about 8 months old, you took that on for her. So interestingly enough, this limitation was not yours, but it is something that you took on nonetheless. So I'm just creating a nice deep subconscious shift for you there now. So as we can see, those early years of our life, we hear psychologists talking about this all the time. Those early years of our life, they really can dictate, you know, how we experience things in the present day. But it's really fascinating because once we intuitively start exploring the subconscious and we start identifying the moment where these things began, what we're actually usually seeing is the moment that we would no longer were the beautiful, pure, and self-loving being that we came into this world as. We now start seeing ourselves as you know, the ego mind, or the space within us that we struggle to appreciate, that doesn't come from a space of self-love, that comes from a space of fear. And this is what we want to transform within ourselves. If we can clear this experience, you know, the experience and perception within us that says that, you know, life can only be as good as, you know, what we've seen in other people, what we've seen possible for other people. If we can shift that, then we have an amazing life ahead of us, because we're no longer limited by, you know, the certain limitations that we may have taken on from our parents. We're also not limited by the fact that we may be a parent and we're struggling with, you know, knowing what's right and wrong for our children, you know, and getting caught up in the mind, you know, ego mind flurry that happens as we're trying to navigate that world. We then get to know what decisions are right for us in any given moment. So, Emily, allow for us to feel free to share into the comments section how you've been experiencing that shift. Yes, she's sharing, yes, that's what happened 100%. And she's visited that moment in a session, spot on, perfect. Yeah, I can really feel that. So at the moment, your intention is set on that session, on that moment. And so we're not going to be able to shift all of that right now in just a moment, but we can shift everything that's in the highest good to be cleared right now. So we're just going to offer that clearing process for you. And if anybody else is resonating with this, allow for yourself to have a shift with this as well. Whether you're watching this live or you're watching the replay, you may be feeling this shift in your body. You may have a knowing sense within you that something is changing, even if you can't really sense it in any other way. You may be seeing intuitive visions alongside of the shift. And I also see that some of you are just, you know, processing some thoughts and feelings and experiences around how you've had this show up in your life. All of these ways of clearing are okay and are perfect. So with subconscious healing, we allow for this process to occur in whatever way is perfect for you. And that's what we're going to offer for you all here today. Perfect. Well done. So as we can see, this can be a fairly relaxing process if we can allow it to be. So definitely join us tomorrow if you're wanting to explore more of these shifts, and even if you're just resonating so much with what I'm talking about. I can feel as some of you are right there with me right now, and you're just like, this is amazing. This feels like everything I've been searching for when it comes to healing and being able to help myself. Definitely connect in with me and with the team tomorrow that are going to be able to offer some support for you, because we've got what you need. You've found that magical thing that's going to transform your life in the future. So congratulations. Thank you so, so much for sharing, Emily. And I hope you've enjoyed that shift. I'm going to explore Miranda's now. She would love a connection. Let me just see if she's shared anything specific. Perfect. Let's see what comes up for you, Miranda. So Miranda, I'm feeling straight away drawn to the heart space for you, and it's feeling really interesting to me because what I'm seeing is that there's been a bit of a internal battle happening within you. So it feels as though there's been a lot of, is it this or that, process happening in your mind space. And I feel as though, there's been these intuitions around connecting in with your heart. What does your heart say? How do you feel about this? And, what makes sense to you? I feel as though you've received so many different angles of ways of attempting to be able to make a decision about something at the moment. But, there's been so many different, aspects of this that it's just kind of getting a really confusing for you. So I'd love to alleviate some of that for you today, because I know what that feels like. And very frequently, I used to feel this way before I had stumbled across this amazing work. I felt that I had tried everything, and I was, looking in so many different places in order to be able to, receive support. And I just didn't really get anywhere with these short answers that weren't really solving the problem. So this is what we actually want to do for you today. We want to solve your problem, and we can do that by identifying what limiting beliefs are beneath the surface in order that we can shift in order to create a transformation for you. So let me see if I can identify what's happening for you beneath the surface of this struggle. It's beautiful. We don't need to go into too much detail with this. We just need to be ready to set the intention to explore the deepest root cause of this. And so what's really magical is you've been able to send your awareness a little deeper and a little deeper and a little deeper each time you've found something. So that's really beautiful to see. You're so open to having subconscious shifts, which is wonderful. So the first thing that I'm seeing for you that we want to explore today is that there's a limiting belief for you in the realm of finances. And this is contributing to the blockage you're having about whether the decisions that you're ready to make. And so the truth that I'm getting for you is that it's actually not about making the right decision at the end of the day. And the fact that you've been feeling as though you need to make a decision, that is what we actually want to explore, because that is coming from a limiting space. If we removed this limitation beneath the surface for you around finances, then there would be no pressure to make a decision right now. You'd be able to comfortably allow yourself to make the decision when it's in the flow for you. So if this is resonating for anybody else right now, allow yourself to have whatever shifts you need to have in order to have in order for this transformation to ring true for you. For you, Miranda, what I'm seeing is that this goes back to I'm getting around about somewhere between 16 months old. Yeah, so I'm seeing around 13 months old, and within that 3-month period, 13 months and 16 months old, this is where this began for you. It's like I'm seeing your big, beautiful eyes are open, looking out at the world, exploring life, and seeing how other people do things. And so there was some societal limitations being created for you there around your financial well-being. And this has set you up because and this feels as though this is why it's intertwined with love and why it's connected to you with relationships, with the heart struggles that you're experiencing as well, right? So what was happening for you was the limitations that you saw in society around financial well-being were brought to you through your parents. And it feels as though this has shaped so much for you in your life around love, around connecting with other people, and also around your ability to support yourself. And so this is where the internal blockage is for you. And no wonder you've been feeling like you're drawn into so many different, directions. Each person will, that you ask for support from, they'll see a small piece of this. But for you, this limitation goes so deep that it's connected to your finances, loving and connecting with other people, your relationships in general. And it's also connected to your health and well-being, I'm seeing. So this blockage for you again comes down to the moment that you started to limit yourself in all of these ways purely because you started seeing a life that wasn't working for other people and believing that this was eventually going to become your reality one day in your future as well. So that feels really huge for you, and we're just going to clear and let go of some of that energy. Thank you for sharing the relevance for that for you. Emily's saying she felt a deep sense of meditation and relaxation. Beautiful. Wonderful. Yes, we can shift very deeply with a very in a very gentle way. It's amazing. Already there seems to be a theme today, right? We want to be able to let go of, not only all of the struggles that we're currently having, but when was the first time that I truly lost my true self? That part of me that, was always loving. We were born with love into this universe, into this lifetime. We were always loving at some stage, and we were always, feeling fulfilled, just embracing the exploration of life. And wouldn't it be amazing to be able to get back to that space? So by having subconscious shifts and exploring intuition wisdom's healing techniques, this is what we offer, and this is what we have to share with the world. The ability to be able to transform everything in your life that is anything less than amazing. Being to bring into your current experience the truth of who you really are and what you have to share with the world. So if this is resonating for any of you, even if you're just feeling that this is so amazing and you just would love to be able to explore this within yourself, as well, to be able to share this sort of thing with the world, definitely join us tomorrow for the Subconscious Healing Exhibitor group. Join us in that group. There's a beautiful lineup of subconscious healers, intuitive life coaches, and support people, including myself, who are going to be offering some amazing things tomorrow. So if that's resonating for you, and I can see Miranda, you're saying yes, that's exactly what you need, then yes, so we would love to have you there. So thank you for joining, and for sharing into the comment section. I'm so grateful we've been able to offer some support for you today. Feels like you're going to really enjoy those shifts tomorrow, Miranda. They feel really exciting for you. Wonderful. So for anybody who's just joined us, feel free to share into the comment section any challenges or difficulties or pain in your life, and I would love to identify the deepest root cause of that for you and create a subconscious shift if it's in the highest good to do so online. If not, feel free to connect in with me for a one-on-one session. I would love to work with you, especially Emily and Miranda. I know Emily, we spoke about connecting in for a session at some stage, and Miranda, I would love to work with you as well. But anybody else, you know, that is watching this live or watching the replay later, feel free to connect in with me. I would love to explore this work with you and see what we can offer. And of course, feel free to share into the comment section now. I would love to support you in any way that I can. Donna, mental health is not well. Okay, Donna, let's tune in for you and see what we can identify for you as being the deepest root cause of this. So Donna, straight away, I'm feeling so much emotion for you, and there's this huge burden that you're carrying. Where you're just it's as though I see you holding on to these past experiences that are just carrying so much heavy emotional weight. But it's so much more than that. You are carrying the weight of, you know, the emotional well-being of so many people in your life, and this is really bringing you down. We need to shift this for you. So I'm just lifting some of that energy for you, and anybody else that has been experiencing this, allow for this shift to happen for you as well. If you're feeling the burdens or emotional stress of other people, we're just going to lift some of that energy. Just notice how light your energy is, how light your energy can be, and how quickly we can offer this for you. It's pretty amazing, right? I can feel lots of pressure lifting for people in the mind as well. That's really, really something. Perfect. So let me tune in for you, Donna, and now see what I can uncover for you beneath the surface so that we can shift a limiting belief for you as well. So for you, Donna, what I'm seeing is that there's been a fair bit of tension between you and your father. And a lot of this wasn't really spoken about, but there is a very deep limiting connection between you two. So energetically, there's a lot of stress there that really needs to be released. There's a lot of pressure between you two that really needs to be released. And I see that you're actually a very self-loving person, even though you may not see this within yourself sometimes, or you may feel that other people don't see you as somebody who is self-loving. I actually see that you are extremely self-loving, and because of that reason, you've then been able to it's almost like you've set the intention that you want this pressure to be released in a way that is supportive for you and your father, if that makes sense. So this is something that we want to tackle very gently, because I just want to make sure that your father's in the right space before we create a shift. So I'm just going to tune in now and see what I can offer there. Already putting him into a safer space, I can see has lifted a lot of weight for you yet again. And now we can identify a limiting belief for you that's ready to be cleared. So for you, the depth of this burden goes back down to the limiting belief, I need to hold on to the pain of others. So it's not even the emotion that you're holding on to. If we look beneath the surface of the emotion, what you're actually holding on to is other people's pain. And it's happening so tightly. I can almost feel this constriction in the digestive area, in the stomach a little bit as well. So I'm not sure if you've had health issues there as well, but there's this tightness within you where you're really feeling, that you need to hold on to this. So I'm just going to allow for some new energy to flow in, which is going to allow for you to let go of that. You no longer need to hold on to the pain of other people. The truth is that it was never serving you in the highest good, and it was never serving anybody else in the highest good either. It was just a limitation that you took on from society about how things were done. So for you, from a very, very, very young age, you've been holding on to the pain of your father, the things that he's been struggling to be able to see within himself. And the reason why you've been holding on to that is because he was struggling with the pain around whether his parenting abilities were supportive or not. But he wasn't equipped to be able to see that beneath the surface. So he wasn't equipped to even be able to look within and be able to find that. All he was seeing was, the daily stresses and difficulties that were showing up for him in his life, and just trying to manage that, process and release that. That was enough of a struggle for him. That was where he was. Perfect. So I've alleviated some of that pressure for you today, and we've shifted that limiting belief for you. But it actually feels like there's a lot more that we could do. So please reach out to me and connect in for a session if you'd like to explore this further, because I feel that there's a little more work that we could do around this in order to bring you back into, the ideal, supportive space for yourself. But it feels to me like it's your mental health is nowhere near as as bad as you're feeling it is. We've already lifted so much stress and pressure for you just within the space of a few moments. So so much of that actually isn't yours, and it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to other people. So we can definitely work together in order to shift that for you. So please, please, please join us for the Expo tomorrow in the Subconscious Healing Exhibitor group. You will find so much support in there to keep shifting some of that pressure. And this goes for anybody else that's been experiencing this sort of stress and pressure in the mind space or anywhere else in their body. Definitely there's wonderful things that we could do very, very quickly in order to transform that for you. But yeah, I'd love to connect in with you for a one-on-one session as well if you're feeling you'd like to. So thank you so much for sharing, Donna. It was so beautiful to have you with us today. And perfect. Thank you for sharing your comments. Yeah, I'm glad that they resonated with you, resonated for you. Perfect. Kerry, yay, Kerry, wanting someone to change. Let's tune in and see what we can do there for you. I know that feeling extremely well can be very hard to overcome. So for you, Kerry, the difficult lies within. And because we've worked together, we've done some subconscious healing work. I can see that you're completely aware of that, which is really amazing. But it's, there's still a little piece of you that's, experiencing things from the filter of I'm looking outside of myself. So, and that, will happen from time to time with some of the really, really deep stuff until you're feeling really comfortable getting into the depth of what's happening for you beneath the surface there. So let's see what that is about for you today so that you have a nice clean slate to be able to work from and a clear focus on what to clear around. And so for you, I'm seeing that from a very, very, very young age, you were feeling as though you were struggling with who you are. It's like I see that you're struggling to know who you are. So there's this part of you that has been, acting and behaving in a certain way purely because this is how other people, chose they wanted you to be, if that makes sense. So it feels as though you've done some clearing around this, but it also feels as though it's one of your biggest traumas because it's connected with your parents and how they saw you at such an early age. But it's something that you've been struggling with your whole life. So this has created a trauma over time. And so for you, what you want to focus on is clearing and healing your trauma. Because from this focal point, you're accessing what's beneath the surface of the difficulties that you had with your family, which is then contributing to the experiences you're having in the present moment with this particular person. So until you've been able to create that shift, the person that you're wanting to have a change with, they're not capable of having a realization because you both have some purpose around exploring something. And what's interesting is that if I have a look quickly at the other person so that you have a bit of an idea of what may be happening for them, I'm actually seeing that they have never really acknowledged their trauma. So they've not even been able to come to the awareness of the fact that, they have any. And it feels like there's actually some pretty deep things going on there. So what's beautiful is that I see that once you've been able to clear this within yourself, you're then going to be able to allow for them to have a realization, which means that you'll then be able to support them. So you will then be able to allow for them to experience some new truth and maybe even perhaps, start a new phase of their self-development, journey and their evolution of being able to help themselves. So I'm not surprised in any way, shape or form, Kerry, because you're amazing. And, I know how incredible you are, with supporting the people around you and how we spoke about how beautifully that's aligned with your gifts. But yeah, accessing that level of awareness for you, exploring trauma and anywhere that has shown up for you in your life and using your subconscious healing tools in order to clear that feels like the perfect focus for you. And so this is something that I see with everybody, right? Whenever we have reached some deeper trauma within us, our first subconscious reaction is usually always to throw ourselves into some other task or behavior in an attempt to be able to avoid it. So, this process will happen, from time to time until we get really clear and focused on, and comfortable with going into the, deepest depths of our subconscious. So if anybody's interested in learning more about that, definitely check out intuitionwisdom.com. And join us for the exhibitor group tomorrow. We have a range of intuitive life coaches and subconscious healers who are going to be talking about different topics throughout the day tomorrow that can guide you throughout that journey. So I hope that's feeling wonderful for you, Kerry. We've shifted, some things there for you, but also brought in some new awareness for you so that, you have the ability to create some nice deep transformations for you. Thank you so much for sharing. It's so beautiful to connect with you, as always. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I hope you get to be there. Amazing. Perfect. Let's see what else we have. Who's next? Sheila. Triggers of negative energy. Let's see. That's a great thing. Thank you for sharing that into the comment section. I see that you mentioned change as well. So anything that resonated for you with Kerry's tune-in feels really good to integrate for yourself as well. Let's see, triggers of negative energy. Let's explore what's happening beneath the surface for you around that, Sheila. So for you, Sheila, I'm feeling a lot of agitation and just so much difficulty. So for you, we just want to address that first and foremost because, you've had a lot of stuff, going on is what I can really sense. So just acknowledging this means that we can release, you know, some of the pressure for you. Well done. What I'm seeing for you as I explore the subconscious and identify the deepest limiting belief for you around triggering negative energy, it's that you have negative energy. That's the limiting belief we want to clear for you today. How powerful is that? So the reason why we want to clear this is because every energetic connection that you have, and let me tell you, when we start exploring this intuitively, these happen by the millions, billions even, day in and day out, so much so that it can be absolutely impossible for us to even, you know, consciously understand just how much energy is being sent back and forth between us and other people, other beings, day in, day out. It's truly incomprehensible. If we can clear the limiting belief that you have negative energy at all, then we can transform your entire experience, because it then means that the level of negative energy you're going to be receiving from other people is going to decrease, getting by about 45% just in this moment of clearing this limiting belief. So we're just going to allow for that to happen for you, and for anybody else that would like to clear this limiting belief, allow for this to happen for you as well. Just going to clear the limiting belief that we have negative energy, because that wasn't the space that we were born into. You know, we weren't born with negative energy. It's so easy to just be and, you know, nurture beautiful babies, and it's because they have so much self-love, unconditional love beaming from them. Negativity is just, it's not even there. In there, when in not even, it's definitely not a part of their essence and who they are. So that's the space we want to bring you back to. And so what a relief, right? Even just to know that there's a life, you know, that's possible of living without negative energy. And let me tell you, for me, I would say it's probably been, oh my gosh, I would say at least a year and a half since I have had negative energy affect me. Huge, right? It's just doesn't even become a factor in my life anymore. Anything that does show up that is anything less than amazing, I can transform. And I'm also able to be in a comfortable space, you know, leading up to the moment of having that transform. So even if difficult things want to show up, I know I have what I need to be able to transform them. So the, you know, the limiting subconscious behaviors that I, you know, participate in now, they're just, you know, absolutely nothing compared to what they used to be. You know, they're not damaging for my soul, and they don't take me back. Nothing, you know, pulls me back down into the old world anymore. I'm always my beautiful, self-loving and unconditionally loving self. So we've just ignited a little bit of that for you all. That's pretty exciting. Wow. Wonderful. So anybody who's resonating with that, wants to explore more about how to just let go of negativity for good, how to create change in your life, we have a segment on tomorrow that is specifically designed on, that's specifically just going to be about leveling up your life. Definitely join us in the Subconscious Healing Exhibitor group to learn more about that. I'd love to offer that for you all. That's amazing. Miranda's finally taking nothing less than positive vibes and amazing experiences. And Carrie's saying, thank you, resonating. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's amazing. Congratulations. And thank you everyone for joining. That's so beautiful. We're not done yet. Let's keep going. Who's next? Thank you everyone who's sharing. Diane, chronic pain for over 25 years. Oh, let's tune in on this. I feel that you may have already had some shifts with what we've been exploring today, Diane. Changes health-wise. Yes, absolutely. Let's explore this for you now. So Diane, the deepest limiting belief that I can see today that has contributed to chronic pain for you is this deep sensation of I'm unloved. So there's a lot that we could explore around why that's there, but for just now, just see if you can acknowledge within yourself where that limiting belief exists within you, because it's at the core of all of the chronic pain that you've been feeling. And it's also connected to so much of the energy that you're giving and receiving. Wow, that's really huge. So for you, we need to go through a process of clearing all of the limitations that exist around why you've been feeling unloved. So that's definitely something that we could do. Please join us tomorrow in the exhibitor group to access some one-on-one session time with myself or with anybody else that you'd like to explore subconscious healing with, because this is something that we can explore for you on a multitude of different levels. But for today, we've brought in some huge new levels of awareness for you, and I can feel how huge that shift has been for you. So allow for yourself to release and let go of anything that you've been holding on to that you're ready to say goodbye to. It feels quite emotional, but yes, know that we're here for you. We're here to support you, and there is a way to have this journey without it being, without it being painful. There is a way to completely transform the pain that you're feeling. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing. I would love to connect in with you to explore this further. So I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Thank you, Diane. Okay, let's see who's next. Carmel, loss and enthusiasm. Oh, that's such a great thing to explore. I feel as though for some of you, you're just receiving some beautiful healing and it's still going. So just allow yourself to stay in this relaxed space for as long as you need to enjoy that healing. Diane and Sheila, absolutely feel free to relax into that. See. So Carmel, for you, I've been taken straight to the limiting belief, which is I'm not good enough. So it feels as though this is what's at the root of the difficulties that you're experiencing. The lack of enthusiasm is connected to this limiting belief in the way of, this is what's being triggered, which is creating a struggle with you being able to, feel comfortable, exploring new things, and just moving through some energy as we're bringing in this awareness. But definitely when it comes to exploring new things, to being able to be present in life and being able to feel positive. So for you, I can see that when this loss occurred, it created a bit of upheaval for you. And I'm almost seeing like a bit of a dark cloud just sort of came in for you. Which I understand completely. There's a time for mourning and moving through any energy that we need to work through when horrible things are happening for us in our lives. But what we want to be able to achieve for you is the ability to still continue moving forward in your life. So it's so fascinating to me that you've identified loss and enthusiasm. These are the two things that you wanted support on. because we can do that now by clearing and shifting this limiting belief. So I'm just going to create a shift there for you. This is one of those big ones that may have a few different angles to explore. I love using the analogy of seeing a limiting belief as a rock. Each time we shift the rock to a slightly different angle, there may be something slightly different to look at. But the beauty of this is that we only need to look at each angle one time, create a shift in order to create a change in your life. So we're going to do our best now to clear whatever's in the highest good for you. Just clearing any sensations where you're not feeling good enough. Anything that's been creating a hesitation of wanting to get yourself out there to experience life again. And it feels like this is why loss has triggered this for you, was because you also held limitations around when there's loss in your life, you go into a shell. And so this is why this has been triggered in such a big way for you. And this is definitely something that your parents experienced in a very big way when you were a child. So these are the limitations that we want to clear for you. We definitely want to do some subconscious healing work in order to be able to in more detail. But for today, we're creating a nice big shift to be able to lift the pressure for you, clearing as much of that as is in the highest good, so that you can move forward today and then tomorrow and the next day, knowing that you will get through this. You will be able to have the transformation that you're looking for, but you will get to have it in the way that you choose to have it. And that's why you've been holding on to this. It's because you've been wanting it to happen in a certain way. And a part of that has been really beneficial because there's been a self-loving space with that. But a part of this has also been limiting because as you're exploring the world, you're seeing, well, this is how this process needs to be. And I want to have this sort of experience as I start to have this transformation. But a lot of that has just been based on what other people are experiencing. And we want to make sure that you're able to have this transformation in a way that's right for you. So please reach out to me if you're feeling comfortable to, and if this is resonating for you, because I would absolutely love to explore this further with you and see what we can do to ease the heaviness of this journey and allow for you to, transform your life in whatever way is perfect for you. Thank you so much for joining. It's been really beautiful connecting with your energy today. Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Carmel. Let's see who else is joining us today. Perfect. Hi, Jason. So beautiful to have you here with us. Thank you for all your beautiful comments, everyone. It's so wonderful to hear that we've been able to create some nice shifts for you today. Stacy, so many things going on right now. So overwhelmed, don't know where to begin. Okay, Stacy, let's tune in and see exactly what the perfect place for us to bring in some support for you is. So the deepest limitation for you, Stacy, is interestingly enough, I'm not good enough. So connected to a little bit of what we explored previously. But it also feels as though it's connected to self-hate is what I'm seeing. So for you, this has been an energy that you've taken on in your childhood quite deeply. It feels as though there was a subconscious limitation that came in quite young for you around this. And this has been a bit hard for you to sort of navigate, which understandably, it is. really placing pressure on you at the moment. It's just the fact that this has been beneath the surface wanting to be looked at, and you haven't felt equipped to be able to do that. So I can see that as we've brought some awareness to that, that has alleviated some of the tension for you. I highly recommend exploring any healing techniques that you have available to you in order to explore self-hate. But subconscious healing can definitely help you with this and allow for this journey to be lighter. So that feels really supportive for you to be able to have the journey that way, because it's almost like I'm seeing at the moment exploring that with the techniques that you may currently have and the knowledge that you may currently have, and from the space that you're currently in, it's sort of like a drill moving through the earth's crust is sort of how I'm seeing it. But what we want to allow for you is the chance to elevate out of the energy of self-hate and allow for you to create a shift from that space, which means that it's just a matter of being on the surface and just sending whatever it is that you need to have cleared, just sending some energy down into the earth and just taking out whatever you need to take out, sending it away. This is what subconscious healing can offer you. So if that's resonating for you, please join us in the group tomorrow to explore that a little bit further. We've definitely got what you need to allow for that journey to be easy for you. And I can already feel the lightness, that opportunity has created for you. So yeah, it's definitely something beautiful, and it can be something beautiful, to be able to clear self-hate. For anybody else that's interested in this as well, to be able to clear self-hate and bring in new levels of self-love. It doesn't have to be nasty. It doesn't have to be a terrible experience. It can be really, really beautiful. So using intuition wisdom's techniques, we actually have the ability to do just that, to be able to elevate above our pain, our discomforts, everything that we need to in order to create the deepest possible shifts for you. So that is exactly what we've been exploring here today throughout this segment with subconscious healing. So if anyone is interested and has just joined, I've just shared that into the comment section for you now. The link to join the group is where you're going to see a lineup of events for tomorrow. I've also shared a link there to book in a one-on-one session with me as well if you'd like to. So thank you so much for sharing, Stacey. I hope that's created a beautiful shift for you. I look forward to hearing how you go with that. Carmel saying, thank you so much. My journey the last 3 years has been very heavy. Thank you. Diane saying she'll definitely be there tomorrow. Wonderful. We cannot wait to see you. Thank you so much for everyone for your beautiful comments and sharings. There's one more for today that I'm going to explore. And please just know, if anybody has shared this post, I won't be able to see your tune-ins. So please just ask whoever it was that shared it to connect you to the Subconscious Healing Exhibitor group. If you type that into Facebook, you'll be able to find that. Perfect. So Zena, I had a dream last night and woke from it physically crying. It was a dream of relinquishing something from the past. It was stupid who I was relinquishing it to, but at the same time so real. He gave me a hug. Lots of operations lately, always in the same place. Wondering about the spiritual significance of this. I think I already know. Yes, you definitely already know, Zena, and this is going to be really interesting, connecting in and sharing a tune in for you, because your subconscious awareness has been cracked open. We just want to allow for you to, which almost feels as though this dream was showing you something that you wanted to clear or that you're ready to shift. But by getting a little deeper now and identifying this limiting belief and clearing it for you, it's going to completely transform whatever it is that we need to explore there for you. So that's really beautiful. The limiting belief that I'm actually seeing is that's connected. That's connected to this dream for you is, I'm not feeling stable enough within myself. And so there's been this rockiness for you. And it's interesting, there's a whole bunch of fun, that you've had along your, self-development journey, that's been like, oh my gosh, first I'm here, now I'm there, now I'm there, now I'm there. And, you're able to have fun with it, which is great. But yeah, so we do want to be able to remove this experience from your life, this limitation, because this is still allowing in some difficult experiences that are, let's face it, not great. And we want to be able to transform that. I want to be able to say goodbye to that stuff. So for you, I'm getting to explore what was the reason that you started, I'm getting to ask you this question, and for you to ask this question in reflection on yourself. What was the reason that you started exploring healing in the first place? Because you're at that point now where you're able to heal so many things within you, but the journey is only somewhat there in order for us to be able to heal. It's as though and this is for everybody, we've all kind of lost sight at some stage of the fact that healing is a stepping stone to something amazing. So we need to ask ourselves, well, what was the amazing life that I started this healing journey for in the first place? And once we've found that within ourselves, then we really start to get to have huge, beautiful windfalls showing up in our lives. And it's so interesting because looking back at this now, I remember when I first learned about the law of attraction and The Secret. I remember exploring, manifesting, and I had manifested $10,000, and I had manifested, renting a beautiful beach home apartment, and I had also manifested working from home and working part-time, so I didn't have to, but that was only a small piece of it. It was actually that I had finally started aligning with my life purpose, with who I was born here to be, and I'd actually cleared a huge level of resistance out of the way, cleared a bunch of stuff and let go of a bunch of stuff that was in the way of me able to live a wonderful life. So Zena, I'm feeling drawn to ask you to connect into the Subconscious Healing Exhibitor group tomorrow, because once you've reflected on that question, you're going to find a perfect focus to be able to take into the day tomorrow and access exactly what you're looking for. Whether you can watch it live or watch the replays a little later is, it doesn't matter. But you definitely want to be exploring something within that, because it's going to bring in, there's this huge potential with your purpose, right? Where it could bring in, so much wonderful goodness, like abundance beyond our mind's belief, and, a completely new life. Is what I'm seeing as possible for you. So you're close, you're on the brink of discovering that next amazing thing. But we need to be able to shift your focus from healing towards, okay, my beingness. What is it within my being that I'd love to explore, and how would I like to show that up into the world? So for you and for anybody else that is resonating for, we have some amazing segments on life purpose tomorrow. We also have some amazing segments on the law of attraction, and the little bits and pieces, of the law of attraction that, we may not have quite grasped, the bits and pieces of information surrounding that, that may have, got us distracted from actually finding what it is we're truly searching for. And I had found for me that was actually life purpose, and that life purpose shows up for us in every area of our lives, not just our career. It shows up in our relationships and in our finances, in our health and our well-being. It shows up in every area of our lives. And when that's our focus, our beingness becomes who we are in every level. And I haven't seen anyone else on the planet be able to bring that into existence for people as strongly as intuition wisdom can. So definitely join us tomorrow to explore more of that if this is resonating for you. I can feel some of you really excited for this. Zen is saying thank you, crying again, lol, my theme of today. Beautiful. You've clearly got some huge stuff coming your way, Zena, so I'm really glad that you shared. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. So that concludes today. Thank you, everyone. Mwah. It's been so beautiful to connect with you. I cannot wait to connect with you tomorrow, and feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about what I do, or the potential to explore anything we've chatted about today. Sending love. Bye-bye.